Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and hopefully not, well, yeah, good night if you're listening before bed. That being said, hi, my name's Form. This is Formcast episode 143. If I'm not correct on that, please don't blame me. I don't run the show here. The dog does. With that being said, hello, and thank you so much for listening today. It is a Tuesday, October 21st. Yes, it's a Tuesday. I didn't record yesterday. I streamed yesterday because I took Sunday evening off. So you got to make up time, right? Because you can never stream too much, even though you stream nearly 200 hours per month. With that being said, seems to be the tagline of today. I want to talk about this last weekend's massive event for streamers and content creators worldwide. Well, maybe not worldwide, because it was in North America in San Diego, TwitchCon 2025. I did not attend. I've never been to one. I have no clue what it's about, really. The conferences here and booths here and brands there and the IRL streamers all over the place, apparently. I want to talk about what I've been seeing and what I've been reading about the entire convention this past weekend. A lot of people go. If you don't know what a TwitchCon is, it's like a convention for Twitch streamers. Whether you're an affiliate, whether you're a partner, or whether you just want to go to the con and meet people. And a lot of big streamers go. A lot of people have meet and greets and all this kind of stuff. And there's booths and there's some gaming going on and all that kind of stuff. And it's a big opportunity for communities to get together and meet maybe for the first time or for the 20th time. It's been held in San Diego, and that's very far from me. So it takes a bit of time to actually get there. With that being said, I've never been. So this weekend was TwitchCon. And from the gist of what I've been reading, there's been a lot of drama. I don't know if that's the word, but drama, issues, complaints, frustrations regarding personal space, IRL streamers who have no cares whatsoever about whether you're in their way walking, whether they're cameraman, which apparently that's a really big thing now is streamers have camera people and they just boot you out of the way if you're in their way. There's been reports of some people that I know as streamers that have been knocked to the ground or pushed around by these types of individuals and nothing was ever said to them. Apologies, acknowledgments of the fact that they're running into each other. I know there's a lot of people at conventions. I went to Fan Expo Canada back in August, and there's a lot of people, especially when you're trying to leave certain areas of the convention. It's very funneled into an area where that's the exit, it's the only way out type thing. So you're touching shoulder to shoulder, and it can be very claustrophobic, especially with a lot of people there. But this seems to be a regular type of occurrence with this past weekend's TwitchCon in San Diego. There's a lot of people, but there's also seemingly no level of respect, which doesn't really surprise me. The streaming world is very weird. Everyone is usually online in their house, by themselves, in their homes, whatever it may be. So when you're together in person, it's just really, really different. I can attest to this because when you do meet people, it feels very different than when you're just at home in front of your computer, in front of a camera, speaking to a microphone rather than an audience of people. There were some pretty major security blips, it seemed, with the convention. There was a content creator, which I've never heard of them, but they're big enough to have this meet and greet where people are lined up. This person was going to, seemingly about to take a photo with a fan, a community member, and this was all caught on tape where someone just jumped the line and everything like that. This very large individual, large guy, and this content creator is a petite woman from one of the video shows, and just ran up, tried to hug her. I don't know if he tried to kiss her or something like that, but it wasn't until her own security apparently jumped in to push the person away and then bring him away. And then seemingly they had to contact TwitchCon security themselves to be like, hey, can you help us with this, rather than TwitchCon security being around and there on the spot when it happened. So when I first saw the video, it just looked like they were already in line going to see this person and they just didn't know what personal space was, but they actually skipped the line apparently and did all that kind of stuff. So a lot of backlash towards, Twitch and the con and the security that they had set up. This content creator said if they didn't have their own security, then it could have been really worse off. You never know what someone's going to do, especially in a real life setting versus them just watching the streamer on their computer. I think it boils down to a lot of community people and viewers, and especially for larger streamers, maybe not myself, but others that might be in this industry that have this giant platform, this giant community following. A lot of people don't really know how to act in person and what personal space is, and they think they may know the streamer because they watch their stream every single day for hours on end. But at the end of the day, being in person is so completely different than watching someone stream. So you have no clue how they'll react to you being in their face and going in for a hug without asking, or even a handshake or something like that. Everyone's different. Everyone's pretty unique, right? So it's very important to take note of that. And some people I find are just not, they're just not capable of understanding that motion. So it seems like a lot of people had fun, but it seems like the general statement from what I've seen on socials is just this vast majority of people complaining about the other people, other content creators, other streamers, other fan goers, just not understanding personal space, respect, all that kind of stuff. So I think people had fun, but that really does trump the feeling of fun. And it's hard to get that out of the picture. I've never been, like I said, and for me, it's just a really expensive trip to go to a convention. I think meeting people is awesome and networking is awesome, but I think it can be done without giving into the whole TwitchCon FOMO, I guess you can say. It's also way out west, where it costs me a lot of money to travel there. The tickets are really expensive, and you don't get any discounts anymore unless you convince people to use your code to buy tickets and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't seem really worth it at the end of the day, especially with all the issues they're having. People said that they canceled their meet and greets. They went back home early, and they're happy about that, and all these kinds of things. And there's some crazy stories that I'm sure people have had from these types of cons. But at the end of the day, if you went and you had fun, good. If you went and you endured some unfortunate circumstances, it's unfortunate. But I guess you don't really understand how things are until you actually go and witness or experience it for yourself. So, will I go next year? Probably not. I think I'd much rather do a community meetup and just hang out, do your own thing, and not be pressured to spend hundreds of dollars on tickets to go to a con where it's not really about what's at the convention, but more just so who's there. And you can really kind of control who you're meeting, where you're going, and all that kind of stuff when you're not forced into one area. My thoughts, my opinions. It's expensive, worth it, maybe not. Anyways, we're off to stream soon, shortly here today on a Tuesday. Thanks for listening. Every episode uploaded on Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. All episodes on YouTube. And the last, I want to say 15 to 20 on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for downloading the podcast. We are going up, 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 and up every week. There's multiple downloads, so thank you so much. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Cheers.